Do you prefer 8-hour or 12-hour workdays? Shift workers working 8-hour shifts work 21 of 28 days, while those who work 12-hour shifts work 14 out of every 28 days. While these shifts total the same amount of hours at the end of each month, there is much debate towards which is better. Shift work refers to a work-hour system in which a relay of employees extends the period of production beyond the conventional daytime third of the 24-hour cycle, as stated by Keller, 2009. 12-hour shifts involve staff working 12-hour day and night shifts, whereas 8-hour day, evening, and night shifts are worked with staff on 8-hour shifts. Those in favor of 12-hour shifts, as opposed to 8-hour shifts, claim they provide greater worker satisfaction due to less travel time to and from work and more days away from the workplace. Those in opposition to 12-hour shifts argue that there is an increase in fatigue and a decrease in productivity, as opposed to 8-hour shifts. My name is Tara Slade, and I'm a fourth-year nursing student at the University of Lethbridge. In this speech, both the pros and cons of 8- and 12-hour shifts in relation to healthcare workers will be discussed, beginning with the pros of an 8-hour shift. There's a strong argument for why workplaces should have 8-hour shifts for those employees who work shift work. The benefits of an 8-hour shift are enhanced further by the cons of 12-hour shifts, which will be discussed later in this speech. The more traditional 8-hour shift allows for benefits on behalf of both management and the employees. An 8-hour shift allows for more direct communication with management and allows for a greater ability to find replacement workers for vacations and sick days. 8-hour shifts provide more time for after-work activities, more time for rest, and allow for more flexibility in regards to training and overtime. Figure 1 shows that individuals average 6.5 hours of sleep when working day shifts, 6.8 hours when working evening shifts, and 6.1 when working night shifts, and sleep an average of 7.5 hours on their days off of work. While there are many benefits to an 8-hour shift, there are also benefits to a 12-hour shift. Smith states that individuals who work 12-hour shifts preferring them over 8-hour shifts. 12-hour shifts allow for the individual to work fewer days of the week, which allows for more rest and relaxation between days off of work, and more weekends off annually. Those who work 8-hour shifts have an average of 13 shifts a month off, whereas individuals working 12-hour shifts have approximately 26 weekends off in a year. This allows for better quality of family time on days off, as well as more vacation time for individuals. Individuals working 12-hour shifts have an average of 128 days off annually, in comparison to the 91 days individuals working 8-hour shifts have. Working 12-hour shifts also allows for individuals to hold a second job if necessary. 12-hour shifts decrease the time and resources people allocate for commuting to work, which can save money if one's commute to work is of some distance. 12-hour shifts eliminate the need for an evening shift, which allows for better communication between shifts as there are fewer people to report to on a patient's condition through the day. Nurses working 12-hour shifts report less pressure to complete assignments within the 8-hour day and report they are better able to care for their patients. While there are many benefits to both 8- and 12-hour shifts, there are also downfalls. 8-hour shifts, while most traditional, cause for individuals to work maximum amount of consecutive days on with minimal days off. There is an increased turnover of staff on a daily basis, so more staff positions must be held to fill the staffing needs for each shift. Individuals who work all shifts, days, evenings, and nights, must make frequent adjustments to their schedule, which also requires a greater amount of biological adjustments. 8-hour shifts can also strain family life, as there are many days of the month worked, including evenings and weekends. While there are cons to working an 8-hour shift, 12-hour shifts also present negative aspects. While favored by staff, more medication and documentation errors occur on 12-hour shifts when compared to an 8-hour shift. There is also less communication between staff and management, and staff can often become disorientated to the unit, patients, or new procedures as there are a greater amount of days spent away from the workplace. 12-hour shifts are more difficult for older shift workers as there are more complex changes to sleep patterns and fewer hours for personal activities and rest on days worked. Figure 2 shows that an individual averages 6.3 hours of sleep when working 12-hour day shifts and 6.2 hours of sleep when working 12-hour night shifts. These individuals working 12-hour shifts get approximately 7.5 hours of sleep on their days off. Staff working extended shifts are more prone to chronic diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and hypertension. These workers are also at an increased risk of attaining a work-related injury such as a muscular injury or a needle stick injury. It is also reported that staff are less productive in the last 4 hours of their shift and that they are more fatigued. There may also be financial issues with working 12-hour shifts, as paychecks may be irregular and more pay is lost on days missed from work. There may also be conflicts when trying to arrange childcare. While 12-hour shifts provide greater worker satisfaction compared to 8-hour shifts, they also cause an increase in fatigue and a decrease in productivity. Should a workplace choose to implement 12-hour shifts, they must provide staff with the tools to work these extended shifts successfully, such as more frequent breaks, quiet areas to rest, and having enough support staff so they do not have to call in workers for overtime on their days off. While workers may be willing to work long shifts to earn more days off, patient outcomes must be also considered when debating 8-hour shifts versus 12-hour shifts, and a decision must be mutually made between staff and management.